Why do bad things happen to good people? Sometimes you've asked this question from yourself. I'm a good person. I help everyone. I don't hurt anyone. I can see myself as a good person. But still, why all these bad things? Why all these painful things, sufferings happen to my life? Why life always keep testing me always? Well, these questions we've asked most of the times in our life, right? Do you know how Buddha saw this? In the night of his enlightenment, the first thing that he realized was that life consists of suffering. Suffering is a part of everyone's life, right? So Buddha did not say suffering as a part of good people's life or a bad people's life. Buddha saw that suffering was universal, right? But when we face adversities in life, when we face these realities like painful situations in our life, we think that the only person who is going through this suffering, the only person that is going through this difficulty is only me. That is how everyone feels. Not to lie, sometimes I feel that. But what Buddha teaches us to see it as is to see the suffering as a universal thing. I'll tell you a story. A young mother lost her baby. But she loved her baby so much that she refused to accept her baby's death. What she did? She took her baby and ran from one village to another, one city to another, finding a doctor to cure her baby. But no one could bring a dead person back to life. Finally, she met the Buddha. The Buddha said, "Okay, I will cure your baby. But we need one medicine to do this. Can you bring it? Go and bring a handful of mustard from a family that no one has ever died." So the mother was so much happy. She thought that she could find this easily. So she ran to the village and went to the first house that she found and asked, "Do you have a handful of mustard that I can get?" Then when the householder was about to give the handful of mustard, she said, "Has anyone died in your family?" Then they said, "Oh, my uncle died last year." Then she said, "I don't want your mustard." She went to the next house and she got the same answer. Someone had died. She went to the other one. She went from one house to another and she went through the whole village. The only word that she heard was, "Someone died." Death. Then she understood, okay, death is not only for me. Death was something that I always heard in this journey. Maybe my child is dead. So she made her heart strong enough to accept her baby's death. She went back to the monastery to meet the Buddha and thanked the Buddha for curing not the baby, but her heart. What Buddha teaches us to see about life is that to see the suffering as universal. So next time when you go through a difficulty in your life, and the next time when you go through a hardship, painful feeling in life, understand that you are not all alone. There are so many people who is going through in life that's in the same situation, the suffering. Okay? Most of the time, we try to remove the suffering from life. We always wish that this suffering was not there in our life. Right? We go to sleep thinking that next day morning when we wake up, all these things will be a dream. All these problems will disappear. But the reality is, when there is suffering in life, there is suffering. So that the first thing that we need to do is that accept that there is suffering in life. So the whole point of realizing the first noble truth in Buddhism is to accept the suffering as it is, to see the suffering as it is. Only when you accept the suffering, we can cure it. We can find a remedy for it. First of all, you need to accept that there is pain and suffering in all of our lives, right? And then we can choose what to do with it. Most of the time, we spend a lot of time worrying about changing what we can't change, right? But it all depends on how you choose to react to these experiences in life. Most of the time, these painful feelings, sufferings that comes to our life are blessings in disguise, right? If we did not get difficult situations, if we did not get hardships to our life, right, challenges in our life, how can we develop a strong mindset, right? There's a saying that if you need to learn how to swim, what do you have to do? You have to jump to the pool. Somehow, you have to experience how drowning feels like. Only then you can realize that what should I do to learn how to swim, right? In the same way, there is no use of trying to avoid wishing and praying that suffering was not there in life, right? There's no point of wishing and praying that, please don't give me suffering. Always wish a mindset that you can face strongly to all these sufferings and painful situations in life. Whenever you get a strong mind to face any kind of challenge in your life, then you can be happy and in peace because you're ready for anything in your life, right? So always wish a strong mindset that you can face any challenge, any difficult situation in life. So remember that not only bad things happen to good people, good things also happen to good people. And also, sometimes you may think, why all those good things happen to bad people, right? It is not always the case. Good things happen to bad people, and also bad thing happens to good people. That is the law of this world. So we all need to develop the mindset to see the suffering as a common truth to everyone, not a personal thing. So I wish you all, may all of you be able to develop a strong mindset to face any challenge in all of your life. Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to answer a question from the comment section. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I came across this comment asking, how can we make correct decisions in our life? How can we make correct choices in our life? Well, to learn about this, let's take a look at a sutta from the Buddha's teachings. Okay, there's a sutta named Ambalattika Rahulovada Sutta. In that sutta, Buddha advises monk Rahula. Buddha asks from monk Rahula, Rahula, what do you think about this? What is the purpose of the mirror? Then monk Rahula says, the purpose of the mirror is to check our reflection, sir. Then the Buddha says, same like that, whenever you are going to do anything from your body, from your mind, from your words, you have to do it after repeatedly checking on it. Okay, you have to be mindful and you have to think about it, you have to check it, and then after that you have to do it. Then in that sutta, Buddha further explains how to repeatedly check our actions. Buddha says, whenever you are going to do anything from your body, let's say you are going to do something from your body, okay? Then you have to think like this. Buddha says, is this deed that I'm going to do now hurts myself? Is it going to hurt myself? Or is it going to hurt others, other people around me? And the Buddha says, you have to think that is it going to hurt both of us, for me and for the others, okay? And then the Buddha says that you have to think that is it a skillful thing or a good thing or a wholesome thing or an unwholesome thing? Does it give happiness to my life? Does it bring happiness and mental serenity and calmness to my life? Then the Buddha says that if you find that action that you're going to do is unskillful and it hurts for yourself and to the others, and it is unskillful and it brings suffering to your life, then you should, by all means, you should not do it. Okay? So that is a bad choice. That means that you are going to make a bad choice. Okay? Then the Buddha says, if you find the action that you are going to perform in your life, okay? If you are going to perform an action which is good, which brings the happiness to your life, which makes the happiness and which benefits for you and for the others and both of you, if it is skillful, then by all means you have to do it. Now, what does Buddha means in this advice? Buddha says that means you have to, before you are going to do anything from your body, from your mind, from your words, you have to be mindful. You have to think, what am I going to do now? Right? Is it good or bad? Is it wholesome or unwholesome? You have to think about the consequences of your choices. If you are aware of the consequences of your choices, then you will make good choices. Okay? Most of the time, the reason why we are making bad decisions and bad choices is we are not aware of the consequences of that action. And we are not mindful about what we are doing now. So, in your life, before taking any decision, just pause, take a rest, and pause and think, hey, what I'm going to do now, is it beneficial for myself? And is it beneficial for others? Okay? And does it hurt myself? Does it hurt others? Okay? When you think about that, you can make correct decisions. Okay? And you have to be brave enough to choose the harder path, difficult path, because making correct decisions and doing good things is not an easy task. It is always difficult. Although it is difficult, if you practice it, if you constantly do it, no matter what happens, you can bring the happiness to your life. So the best thing to do to make correct decision is to pause first, okay, and think about it, repeatedly check on it, and be mindful and consider whether it is going to be beneficial for my life or to the others, and then make correct decisions. That is how we make good choices and correct decisions in our life. So that is what I have to share in this video. So I wish you all, may all of you be happy and safe forever. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to Buddhist Meditations. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing what are the types of meditations. Coming right up. So basically, our great teacher Supreme Buddha introduced two types of meditations, right? So Buddhist meditations can be categorized into two different parts. But these two different parts, these two types of meditations are interrelated, right? We cannot set aside one part and develop the other one, right? We need both of them to develop, right? So what are these two types? Number one, the first type of meditation is called Samatha meditation. And the other one is called Vipassana meditation. Okay, so let's clarify these things. So what do you mean by Samatha meditation? The word Samatha means the serenity, or the peacefulness, the calmness. So Samatha meditations helps you to make your mind calm and peaceful. So that is the main aim of samatha. Right? Buddha said, Samahito bhikkhu yatha bhutang pajanati. When your mind becomes peaceful, serene, and calm, then it will be a help to see the reality, yatha bhutang, the reality, see the things as it is. Okay? So we practice the samatha as a help, as a tool to realize the reality. Okay? So that is the main aim of samatha. Vipassana meditation. Vipassana means, now the word vipassana means to see through something, right? To see the inside. So that is why we call vipassana meditation as insight meditations, right? Insight means these types of meditations will give you a deeper and a very clear view to your life, to inside your life, right? So these are the two types of meditations: samatha meditations, samatha bhavana, and vipassana bhavana, insight meditation. Samatha bhavana means calming meditations, and vipassana means insight meditation. So these are the two basic categories of meditations. So there are so many meditations falling under these two categories. We will learn one by one about them in the future videos. So first of all, then after that, we need to learn the importance of these two types of meditations, right? So why do we need to practice samatha, and why do we need to practice vipassana? Okay, first of all, the samatha meditation, it helps you to calm the mind, to make your mind peaceful. When your mind becomes peaceful, your mind gets clear. And then, if you practice the vipassana meditation, it will give you a clear view to inside your mind, to inside your life. It's like this. Now think, your mind is like a lake, right? So now you are looking at the lake from the top, from a bird's eye view, okay? So if the water in the lake is unclear, if the water in the lake is filled with mud and so many algae, then can you see the bottom, what is inside? No. You cannot get a clear view. And if your mind is, if the lake, the water is rippling constantly, if it is with ripples, can you see the clear view into the bottom of the lake? No, we cannot see. So what we need to do is we need to stay until this water becomes clear and still. Okay? So samatha meditation helps you to clear the mind, to make your mind very clear and very peaceful and calm. And then it will be a help. Then only you can see through the mind. Right? Your mind get clear, and you will have a good view and a clear view to the life that is inside you. So that is why we practice samatha meditation. Vipassana meditation helps you to realize the reality. It teaches you how the things are going inside this mind. Right? So these two types of meditations should be practiced together. We cannot leave one thing behind. There are some people in this world, they say we don't want samatha meditation. We just only need to practice vipassana, right? We are full of wisdom. We need only the wisdom. We don't want the calmness and the peacefulness too much. No, you cannot leave one thing behind. Buddha never said that. Buddha said, samadhing bhikkhave bhaveta. dear monks, practice the calmness and the peacefulness, collectedness of your mind, concentration of your mind. Because samahito bhikkhu yathabhutam pajanati. When your mind becomes more clear and more peaceful and more calm, it is very easy to see the things as it is. Okay, so these two meditations should be practiced all together, right? These two meditations are interconnected and interrelated. So in the future, when you get and when you receive the Buddhist meditation audios, which you can listen to the meditations, you can practice these two types of meditation all together. But as the first step, in this video series, in the first videos, we will be discussing about the samatha meditation, how to calm your mind, how to make your mind peacefulness, because that is what you need the most, right? Without a peaceful mind, without a calm mind, we cannot attain big things in our life, big achievements in our life. We need to know how to control our thoughts and our emotions. Okay, so that is why we need to practice these meditations. So that is all for this video, and in the next video we will be discussing about another important factor about meditations. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So I wish you all, may all of you have the great opportunity to find the ultimate happiness in your lives. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai.